That's what it looks like coming out of the train station. We're taking obviously a water taxi. You can take a water bus, but we figured with our bags it'd just be easier. Hello everyone, it's Megan, your best friend wandering, and we're in Venice. I love Venice. Oh my god, it's such a beautiful city. And as someone who likes being by the water, it's ideal because I can smell the ocean breeze. And I know some people don't like that smell, but like for me, it just is very homey. But today we're just gonna be kind of exploring around Venice, kind of in the area that we're staying at. I've been a couple times before and there are things to do and we have done them, but we're only here for one full day. So we're not like gonna go to the Murano glass factory again, or I do believe there's an opera house that's kind of that way from where we're staying, and then like a theater and art gallery. So we've done that before, and I will say the Murano glass factory is just kind of one big sales pitch, so that was definitely a no. I do want to get some glass to bring home, or like at least send home, because I'm not carrying that in my suitcase for another month and a half. But yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of take you on a little adventure around Venice to kind of get the vibe, the feel, see if it's someplace that maybe you'd want to visit. If you're wanting to watch a shorter version of this video, it's like just the highlights and not like all the information and all of that, and just kind of see what I'm looking at. I'm gonna post that over on TikTok, so you should go follow us there. Or if you just want to see the pictures that I'm taking throughout my day here, you can go follow us on Instagram. With that said, I'm gonna go get my shoes on, collect my mom, and get going into Venice. We're gonna head down to San Marcos Square, taking it kind of slow because a lot of the bridges here have steps. My mom is still on crutches and I'm clumsy. That's the bridge that's right across from our hotel. We're staying at the Del Opera, and I like it. It's compared to like the other hotels in Venice, it's not as expensive, or it's like flashy, but Venice is just not the city for you if you're not willing to pay, because it is a very expensive city. I always warn people, like, if you're one of those people that like to pinch pennies and you're not either willing or able to pay, Venice is not a destination that should be anything more than a day trip for you, because I've seen so many people get angry when they're like sitting down at a restaurant or going into a store in Venice, and they're out there just completely flabbergasted by the prices. And it's like, it's one of those cities. You're not gonna get by not paying a pretty penny in Venice. So visit at your own discretion. It's beautiful. A day trip is always an option. Just know that even that is probably going to be a little pricey. And here we are, San Marcos Square. I'm so glad it's not flooded. Just in case you don't believe me, this is what you see the first time you step out of your hotel that's off the beaten path. Versace, Prada, Chanel that way, Dolce & Gabbana, and what was the other one we saw? It wasn't Dior, but you get the point. It's that kind of pricey. It's not like, oh, it's just a little expensive. No. We're headed up to the actual square. It's a sight to see. Let me turn this around. And there we are, San Marcos Square. The church over there. I'm glad to be back. Look at that. I'm gonna get a close-up of the church because the mosaics on the front are just to die for. I love them. There's a museum over there. We're not sure if this is all the palace or if that's the palace over there. I think we're gonna go over there and find out which one it is. My mom's a real comedian. She's on crutches and she's like, oh, we could climb that. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Stairs is what got us in this problem and issue in the first place of her being on crutches. All the stairs in the park in Barcelona. Yeah, let's just climb that, Mom.
It started out so good and
it did.
ended so disastrously.
It did. but hey, we're working through it. I do think this is a cathedral, going off of the Jesus pictures, but if we get closer, you can see that all that gold on the building, not the very top, but the pictures are all mosaics, and then it's just like gold tipped everywhere. Very colorful. Okay, so there's closer. That's all those mosaics up there with the gold is what I'm talking about. Wow, the artist really did an amazing job. And then that lion up there, my mom was telling me, is the Lion of Venice. I guess it's a symbol of the city, and that is the palace over there. It has the Bridge of Sighs, I think is what?
It's on the other side.
The other side, okay. But yeah, where they used to lead prisoners. And then my favorite little clock face, like in the world. Look at that. There are times when this whole area is just flooded, like up to people's like knees, I would say. Like,
yeah, so they have,
I don't know if it does that more in the winter.
And their suitcases are floating.
Yeah, the suitcases are floating, and I'm going, oh, that would be a little disappointing. Look at how vibrant those are. Here's the front of the clock tower. You can actually go in. It's all the way up there. Once again, very ornate at the bottom. I don't know what that is yet. We're thinking a government building. Closer up of the palace. They have the same little Venice lion up there.
It's probably where the Doge would come out to address his people.
Oh, okay. Kind of interesting. There's a little gondola parking lot right there on the canal. And then there's the front of the palace. There you go. I think the Bridge of Sighs is down this way. It's kind of nice. The water is a lot bluer, cleaner than when we were here the last time. Maybe because of the pandemic, people just weren't on it as much, and no cruise ships. That is one thing that's very jarring, is coming to Venice and there's just a huge cruise ship sitting there. We're like,
I think they've decided to shuffle them off a different way to the harbor.
Kind of ruins it for everyone.
Yeah, you see
not just the view, but like
the gondolas and the little water
you get these
taxis,
masses of people that are
little boats in 17th century buildings, and then you see this gigantic cruise boat come by. It was the
and I don't care too much. Like cruise ships, when they let off, the people are kind of oblivious, kind of in their own little world. A lot of times very rude. We've run into that quite a bit. There we go. That kind of covered bridge was the Bridge of Sighs. It was leading prisoners to, I do believe this is the prison?
I think so. It looks like it.
Very much looks like it. To be executed. They have the mask from Squid Games. Get a Venetian mask, get a Squid Game mask. That building right here, that's the hotel we stayed at the last time we were here, which was really nice because you just had the canal right there the whole time. And we had a balcony suite. The problem with that is it was a really expensive hotel. It was definitely a splurge. I want to say it was like $800 a night.
No, I don't think it was that bad. It was more like $400. That was pretty expensive.
Yeah. Now it's probably $800 a night. But it was kind of cool because you had a sitting room, balcony. So that's where my mom's headed. She wants to go look at it. I don't know why we have to go look at the hotel we stayed at, but we do. That's the monument my mom is so interested in. Look at her. She has to get a picture of the monument. It really bothered her that was wrapped up, I guess, before when we were here. I totally forgot about it. My mom did not.
I remember things like that.
So we're mostly walking around today. Yep. There. But let me show you what the bus stops, their water buses stop looks like, which makes it really easy to get around Venice. That's a bus stop right there, right in front of, yeah, they're pretty regular. So you can tour all the palace and everything that we walked by. We've done it before, that's why I'm just not doing it again, but all of the churches, palaces, and stuff like that you can tour. I would just recommend, if you are going to, beware there is a dress code. They are very strict about that, so no showing your shoulders and no shorts, no showing your tummy. They will not let you in. Don't try to argue with them. Argue with your mama. It's not going to happen. They're pretty strict about that.
There's long lines for several the attractions, but apparently there's skip the line.
Let's put my mama in here.
There's skip the line tours you can get for extra price.
Like I said, the Murano glass one, they sell Murano glass all through the city. And if you go on the actual tour to see like them blowing the glass and everything, it's mostly a sales pitch.
For their really expensive pieces.
Yes, for their really expensive pieces. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to still see it. Because, I mean, it's really fun to watch people blow glass. Yeah. It's one of my favorite, like, art forms, if I'm being quite frame.
They show the whole design process and marking the glass and cutting it and blowing it and
if I wasn't so terrified of how hot that glass was, I would probably take up glass blowing. As it is, I'm going to take up archery when I get home instead. I've already kind of scoping that out. I don't know why one seems safer than the other, but you know, I never said I was exactly logical. Here's the side of San Marco. You can kind of see a little bit more of the detail. Very lovely. See some of the glass. This is all Venetian glass. Some more of it. It's just really, really pretty. Mission accomplished. We found my glass. We found something for our pet sitter, and I probably spent way more than I should have, but it looked like from, you know, some of the pictures and everything that we bought it directly from the artist who made it, which I always prefer doing than buying it from just some store that's selling it. So it was it pricey? Absolutely. Do I care?
It was on sale.
No, it was on sale. It was still pricey. But do I care? No. I'm gonna post pictures of it though on our Instagram of what I got, because I got quite a few pieces and a whole little centerpiece thing for my dining table. Look at the box. Whoa, tapestry. Lady Justice. Here's the theater that's close to our hotel, the one that's named after. I think our hotel is just that way. So that was the abbreviated version of Venice. I will say, like, if it's your first time being here and you're here for a few days, go to the palace. I remember it being quite extravagant. Who knows what's changed from pre-COVID to now, but I remember it being quite glamorous. And then there's also all the churches in the area that I recommend stopping in. I don't film in those because they ask you not to, and I'm just not gonna cross that line with somewhere that's very blatantly telling you they just do not want you to take pictures and all of that. But do stop in, because the artwork inside of those churches is amazing. The ceilings, the paintings, the carvings. One of the churches here in Venice is where Elton John got his son, I do believe, baptized. That's a cool church because there is a lot of dead people just out on display. And not like buried or anything, they're just out there. So if you're kind of into the morbid, it might be your scene. Other than that, get some food, enjoy the atmosphere. Hopefully it's not flooded when you're here, because it really floods at some points where it's like up to your knees and your suitcases are floating next to you. So be a little aware, and also just be aware of the dress codes for certain places to get in, because they're particular. Tomorrow we leave. I don't even know where we're going yet tomorrow, to be honest. We're kind of on one of those trips. It's like, if it's Tuesday, you're in Belgium. So there we go. Isn't it great having a tour director mom who's also, I have you in the background, mom, who's also just such a Virgo. But either way, yes, we're going to Salzburg. So we'll be taking a water taxi back to the train station and hopping a train to another country. I swear, it's like every couple of days we're someplace else, except for Rome and Paris. I think we're staying a little longer in both those locations. Either way, I'm gonna kind of relax. We were walking around a lot of stairs, and who knows, but I will see you in Salzburg.